Yes, seems like yes, we are live now. Okay, let me do one thing quickly. Let me grab this live URL. Okay, and let me first go ahead and put it into some community chat so that people can join, like from my Telegram channel. So let me just grab this link, share, copy, and put me on some of my groups, which is this. Okay, okay, WhatsApp is done. Now let me put it on Telegram as well. We are live. Yes. So, okay, so you guys have already seen the title, right? So today we are here to again, whatever I will be doing, right? What it everything will be like in front of you, like things will be from scratch because last week when we were doing the Redis cache, right? I wanted to implement some caching in my application, which is already live at the moment. Linkhub.letsprogram.in. I think this website is already live. And again, I haven't announced about this yet because I wanted to complete one small thing before I basically go live. And that was this guy, this sign in with GitHub. Okay. Uh, Maybe once this is done, maybe then things can become very much simple for the user if they want to log in. Like they don't have to go ahead and put up all of these details basically to create an account. Like first we need to get a name, username, email, password, and then they can create an account. So I just wanted to make things simpler for the user. So that's why I'm still waiting. Like I wanted to complete this part, sign in with GitHub, and then maybe probably this weekend I will announce this on my LinkedIn or some YouTube post as well. Just to give you some glimpse about this application. So this is the Linkhub application which I have discussed last time. Let me basically show it to you the progress what I had since last week. Okay, so once you sign in, right, so this is what you see, right? This is my profile that I'm a logged in user. Okay, if I'm a logged in user, then I can basically see all of this info. Just in case, right? So, and if you might be wondering like, where is this? Like, what is this basically use case of this application? First of all, so let me first start with the problem statement, like why did I created this application, and then maybe things can really make sense, correct? So let me do one thing. Let me log out from this first, and let me open up LinkedIn. Okay, so LinkedIn is not this. Okay, this is the LinkedIn. And I'll tell you what the problem was. If you guys know, right, I have YouTube channel, I have blog. Hey, Santushar is here. Okay, so I have a YouTube channel, I have a blog website. Then I also have some of my projects which I'm working on, like NG Guide. Then there's Interview Helper. So the problem with the LinkedIn was, right. So if I go to my profile, and inside the profile, if you try to add any links, right, there's only one way. Like there's only one place you can add a link, and this is the only one, right? Or else there is this portfolio. So you can only add your portfolio and maybe just one blog link, or maybe if you are on TopMate, then you can add your TopMate link. But what I wanted to improve here, right? What I did, I created this link up just for myself at the moment. So the idea was came basically from me that hey, I want to do something for myself. So that's why I have created this link. And the moment you see, right, like somebody will click on this link up, so they can basically access all of my things. Like they can see my GitHub, they can see my Telegram, my LinkedIn, my Instagram, my portfolio, my YouTube channel, my project NG Guide, and my website interviewhelper.in. So if you click, right, so you can basically go and access all of those. So basically this was the problem statement for me, and this is what I have developed. And you can also see that we have visitors as well, like, and these are unique visitors. If I refresh, right, this is not going to change to 30. So this all, whatever you see, it's all unique. Okay. Now, currently, if you see, right, I'm not into a login state. So I'm just using as a public URL. Like nobody can do anything here. So this is just for view purpose. And people can come here by basically clicking on this link. Now let me talk about the another use case. Like, hey, what if a user wants to create its URL? Okay, I see there is comment. My voice is echoing. Ah, maybe because of I had one more device on my left and the audio was there. So can you please confirm if the audio is good now? Please let me know if the audio is good now. I'm so sorry about that. Okay. So again, coming back. So this is what the URL I was talking about. So now this was the public URL. Now let me try to show you like how like if I want to add some more links, right, to my portfolio. So how I can do that. So for that I can go back here and I need to sign in with my user. So let's go and show you the sign in process. Okay, guys, please let me know if the audio is good. Whoever are watching the stream, just let me know if the audio is good now. So now, if you see right now, I have logged in. So after login, I can get access to this menu now. And this menu, I have two things. I have profile settings and I have analytics. Okay, so let me show you the profile first. So if I click on profile, so this is how I can maintain basically my avatar. Um, I'm not sure what's wrong. I just see like my audio is still echoing. Let me try to fix it. Maybe it's issue with my Prisma Studio. Okay, I'm not sure what's wrong. My headphone is selected, which is good. Video capture is correct. I'm not sure. Let me check if there is any other device. My- please let me know if you can still hear the echo. I have did some settings just to make this thing work again. I don't know when I will learn this live streaming things. It's very hard actually. Hmm. Let me know if the audio is good now. Okay, let me first try to continue again. Like, okay, just let me know if you can still hear the echo base. Okay, now what I have in front of me is this beautiful app. Again, let me just double check if there is still echo. I hope there is not. Okay, mm, how do I fix this? I still see there is. Okay, I'm just trying to change my microphone just to see if. Okay, I changed my audio input. Is there still echo? I need to fix this thing first. Okay, I'll just continue and do let me know guys in the comment like if still there is echo. All right, so this was the profile section I was talking about. So we have a display name which can be updated. We have this bio which can be enhanced with AI as well. So if you see, I have integrated some AI to enhance my bio. So you can click on this and this will help you to like add some like maybe this will help you to improve your English or improve your context like what you have written about your bio and stuff like that. This is where the place where you can basically see like you can basically add your social links. Like for example, if I want to add a social link here, I have list of options. Like if I want to add a Spotify, so you can just put here, okay, my Spotify handle is this, and you can take a preview URL, you can save it. So once you save, you can see there is a big toast on the top, which is also created by me. And you can see one extra link got added. And just in case if you want to have it on the top, that also you can do just by grabbing this and like putting it here, like wherever you want, you can just drag and drop and this will also get updated on your public profile. Right. So this is what I have at the moment. So now can you see now we have this public profile and here we see this Spotify which got recently added. And just to show you more, so here we have also a theme section. Like you can also go ahead and change your theme, like what you basically like. So if I want to change it to midnight glow, I can do that very easily just by selecting this. And if I go back to home, my theme got updated. And whenever any user will be going from here to the link, and they can see this updated theme. Okay, so that's what I have did. Now coming to the main part of this application, what we have here is analytics. So if you click on this, you can see a very good analytics dashboard. Like you can basically see the visits over time, like which browser it was being used, like which country it is. Currently this is I'm testing, so that's why you see here localhost, but yeah, you can also see the traffic sources from where it basically came, what operating system and what kind of device. And you can also see some of them on the top as well. And there is some filter here on the top based on like 7 days, 30 days or 90 days. And all of this API, what you see, right, this all has been cached in the Redis. So that's why you can see this quite fast whenever I'm loading any of the tab. It is a bit fast, like considering this kind of query you're querying in the database, it's quite hectic, right? It will be there will be a lot of DB query, there is a lot of join involved and all of that. So what we did, we basically added a caching, which we have did last week by using Redis cache. And this is what this application is all about. So my first 10 minutes was just to explain you about this app, and then now we will start with the actual agenda for the today's video and for this today's live basically, and that is about doing GitHub login. Okay, so currently if you check the state of this, if you click on this button, you just see an info toast which says that GitHub login feature is coming soon. So now the moment we click on this button, we have to initiate the GitHub login. Okay, and how we can do that, right? So first of all, we actually need to understand the OAuth flow for this application. And again, this is something new for me as well, because I have been using some packages, something like Passport.js, and this is one of the best out there, right? If you want to go with some package, then you can use this Passport.js, and you just need to tell them, okay, which kind of authentication you are looking for. So you can see, right, we can have Microsoft, Apple, we can have GitHub and all sort of options here. Okay, so there are a lot of strategies which are provided by this Passport.js library, and based on that you can do it. But today my job is not to use any of the external packages. I want to rely on my own logic, on my own findings, like how exactly this OAuth basically takes place in GitHub. Like, because for me, I just want to rely on this one GitHub flow, and I don't want it to add any other package in my application. Just wanted to rely on my own logic. And maybe you can also learn the way, okay, what things are involved during the OAuth flow by this GitHub login, what we are doing today. Right, so first thing first, let me try to first identify GitHub OAuth flow. Okay, right, so now this is what things, okay, I'm just trying to make use of AI overview, what it is actually, because I have a basic knowledge, like basic fundamental, what we really need to do, right? So there are a lot of things involved during these steps. So this is one of the important where you need to have this redirect URI. I'm just trying to just recall, because for me also it's been quite a time that I have did this. So maybe first I'll try to picturize it, what I want to do, and then we can get started with step by step. Right, so if, yeah, I remember, right, we need to get I remember we need some client ID. Yes, we need a client ID coming from GitHub and client secret. I didn't find the secret here, but maybe, yeah, with just client ID, I think we can make it possible. We will take a look. We'll check like what all things we need. But first we need to like picturize what has to be done. Okay, so let's try to define the flow. Draw. This is, I was doing something with the email verification and all of those. It's there. Right. Okay. So now what we need to do, right? First of all, how the flow will basically work. Let's try to define the steps. So step number 1 for GitHub login. So we need to do GitHub login, right? What I'm doing here, sorry. GitHub login. So how do we initiate this first of all, right? So first we will have a button here, right? We have a small button in our UI which says login with GitHub, correct? And if anybody clicks on this button, So what we need to do, we have to redirect user to some page, like where the GitHub authentication will basically takes place. So now the responsibility should go to the backend, right? So here the backend basically comes in, and in the backend will handle GitHub initialization and callback. Basically, this is two things which will be handled by the backend. And once this initialization and callback basically happens, right, based on some codes, we are going to redirect the user to the success page. So this is what the basic flow what I can identify at the moment. So redirect the user to dashboard or home page if the login is success, something like that. So this is what the flow I'm expecting. This is very high level, to be honest. We need to see like what all things has to be done. Okay, again let me try to find out. Let's go on our Google. I know I did something bad there. Okay, so I have already searched about it without any package. So let's try to have my own search again. Like I'm just trying to follow this AI mode search. What this can basically help me here, I don't know. Yep, I remember I have searched something about this. Let's go back. And I remember there was some step involved when I did my first research. Yes, this is what I was looking for. So we need to register a GitHub OAuth application, right? So maybe what we can do, we can basically try to create some of our checklist. So let's try to do that, and then we can do one by one. So what I see first is we need to register. So first step is GitHub OAuth app creation, and this should be done inside GitHub app. So this should be done on github.com. I'll show you how we can do that. And second thing, we need to map the environment variables. Like we will have some secrets and everything, and those we are going to store it in the environment variable, so that things are secure. And as I'm doing things on live, so I don't want to expose my client secret and client ID. And then we need to set up the cookie based auth. Yep, this should be important, and I'll give you the reason why this is important later once we will create that. Then prepare the routes. Like for example, we need to have routes like API /auth /GitHub, something like this. And what else we need to do? So we need to controller setup, and that's pretty much it. Then handle things in Angular, which maybe in the front end basically. So this is what the checklist what I can see we need to do. So let's first start things off with the GitHub. So okay, so we need to generate the app. So it's very easy to do, to be honest, which I have already created when I was actually searching for something. How can we do that? So maybe I can show you the steps like what I have followed to basically create an app. So you just need to go in the developer setting. Okay, inside the developer setting you have this option of OAuth apps. So just click over there and you will see some of the application like this which I have already created, the Linkhub. Right, so if you just need to create a new OAuth app, just click on this, give the application name like Linkhub v2. Homepage URL should be your local host, like once you are doing development, once the development is done. So this homepage URL will be something like this. So this will be our homepage URL later on once we deploy our application. Okay, something like this it will be. But currently we need to do development, so let's just still keep it to 4200. You can give some description, but this is optional. Authorization callback is very important. So for us, this will be something like this, localhost 5800, because this is the port where our backend is running locally. So we need to provide a callback URL. Okay, right, so which means we need to create two routes. One for initiating the GitHub, and another one will be for callback handling. So auth slash GitHub slash callback. So this is very important. I'll tell this basically this callback will handle your fetching the user and then checking it in the database if it exists or not. If it doesn't exist, then create the user. If it exists, then take the email ID and then check it in our DB, and based on that prepare the response and send it back to the front end basically. So that's what we have to do now. A lot of stuff, but yeah, let's see how much we can do for today. But this is the bare minimum idea basically to create a register a new OAuth app, and you can click on register. The moment you click on register, you will get two things. You get a client ID, and here you can create a client secret. So maybe I can click on this, create a client secret, and you can see you have these two sensitive information. And these two information should be stored inside your .env. Okay, so you should store this inside your .env file so that nobody can, and do not commit this kind of secrets to your GitHub. Okay, so that's why people always put .env inside .gitignore file. But yeah, this is what we require for us to basically start with GitHub OAuth login. Okay, and then you can see like you have your home page and everything is there, and you can just click on update your application. So your application is ready. And again, if I go back like this, I can safely delete because I already have set up here, and I will be using that client ID and client secret and everything. Okay, but let me go ahead and delete this. There should be a way. Okay, go to the advanced, and yeah, delete the application, delete the OAuth. Okay, yeah, so that has been deleted successfully. Let me go back. So first step is done. Okay, so first step is done, that creation of the OAuth is done. Okay, now we need to map these things inside the environment variable. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm not going to show that to you for sure because those are some sensitive information. So basically I'm talking about this .env, but maybe I can show you the example. So if I go in the example, right, so here you need to have something called as GitHub client, yeah, let me ID, client secret, and callback URL, or you can also give any name like redirect URL and like redirect URI. Okay, so this is what you can basically you need to have. So now the client IDs you already have, your client secret you already have, and now you also know what was your callback URL which you have set up. Okay, this is what I have set up, if I'm not wrong, inside the GitHub OAuth application. Now what next I have to do, let me think. So the mapping is also done, like let me go ahead and do that. Like I need to get rid of this, yes, and I'm just doing some update, guys. Okay, I'm just doing some updates because those are some secret information, and yes, I have updated them successfully, and let me close it so that nobody can see it. Okay, now the .env is done, the setup is done, and I'm using this name like this. So what you name see here, right, that's what the name I'm using now. Okay, so env is also set up. Now we need to have set up a cookie, but maybe that we can do it later. So let's first start preparing our routes so that the authentication can basically happen. GitHub auth can happen. Right, here is my VS Code, and we need to first start with the very bare minimum, and that is your routes. In the routes we have, where is that auth route? Yeah, auth.js. Maybe I can change it to auth.routes.ts, but yeah, maybe that we can do it later. So this is just Swagger URL. Let me close all of them which are not used. Okay, so this is what I have here, and I want to create my route. Maybe I can do it below here. So router.get. Okay, I don't need this, I just need to close this, and I need one more. this is basically for the auth, right? Like we need to have one for GitHub and one for GitHub callback. I don't need it. Sorry AI, but I don't need this. So here I need callback. And now you must be wondering like why I just did this much, because if you remember right, in Node.js we already have something set up here which is API/auth, and if I go in the auth route, so this is how the route will become. Basically this will become /API/auth/GitHub, and this one will be /API. Come on AI, help me. Yes, so this is what it will become. Okay, now why I kept this blank, because I will be using controllers to handle this. So now let's try to define some method in the controller. So let's go in the auth controller, and what I'll do, right, this is my register. Let me close all of this which is not required. Okay, I have verify email, forget password. I have a lot of things here. I'm just checking what all things I have or what all things I can basically reuse. Okay, so we have login, so let's do this below. So export const initiate GitHub OAuth, maybe, yeah. Let's give this name, and I will have one more, and this is will be basically for export const handle GitHub callback, and this is the bare minimum thing. So in this method I will be writing my basically my logic to initialize the GitHub login and then handle the callback. So let's go ahead and put it here so that I can just call them. This is the initiate and this is the handle. Okay, this one will be initiate and this one will be handle, and we are pretty much okay. Yes, let me also build the application so that I can check if everything is going good. npm run dev, and my backend should be, yep, this is, everything is running, everything is green, which is good. Let me see if there is any comments. So I see one comment from Harshal Pawar. This is really high value content. It feels like I'm learning with you. Thanks. I'm glad that I'm helpful to you, man. Right, so again, let me again set up the context if somebody is new here. So we are just doing the GitHub login, and currently we did step number 1, which was creating an OAuth application in GitHub. This is done. This is also done, and this is pending, but maybe I'll talk about this when we will do this. Like, only will do if it is required. We'll see if we need to add more security, right, to our login. So this cookie based auth can really help us. Like, this cookie based things can help us. I'll tell you what is that exactly. Preparing of the route is basically done, and the main thing for today is this logic part. So we are pretty much doing good. Now we just need to set up this, which is the main hurdle for us, but I'll try to do it like as easy as possible so that I'm explaining you as well, okay, what kind of code I'm writing and what kind of code I'm getting from the AI and how I am modifying it based on my needs, like if it is good or bad. I'm just trying to like follow this document, which I have read it like before, like coming to the live, like, but I don't know like if it is correct or not. I'm just trying to implement this, and let's see if everything basically makes sense or not, because currently we are handling this initiating the login, and based on the login we will try to see if our login works or not today. Right, so let's go back and open up the VS Code. It's not that hard, guys. If you think like doing GitHub login is hard, so let me tell you, it is not. It's very easy, and today I'll show you, I hope. Let's see. So now in the controller right now, you will have to basically write the logic, and in the controller it is basically going to start the initiation, like initializing of your GitHub auth. Okay, now to initiate that, right, the step number 1 is to redirect the user like to GitHub authorization page. And how we can basically do that, we need to prepare. Okay, so what basically, let me open up the Excel draw. Okay, so what basically happens, right? So when the user clicks on this button, what should happen? It should basically go to the GitHub page. Okay, it should go to the GitHub page. And where is that GitHub page? That GitHub page is somewhere on this particular like HTTPS. There will be some github.com/login/OAuth slash something like this, like authorize, something like this. It will be there. And in the authorize, you just need to pass few things. Like it is going to be a very big URL. Like you will have your client ID inside this. Then you can also have your secrets like redirect URI, like whatever you have set up OAuth application, right? All those information you need to pass here. Then you will also need to put your like scope, like what is the scope of this auth, like what all things you will be referring from this, like you want to have access to. Like for example, you will have read access of user, and you can also have read access of user email, what all information basically you need, like because this will help you to prepare the token, the GitHub access token, and in the token you will have such kind of information which maybe you can fetch. And because this information we need, so what we are trying to tell here that, hey GitHub, take all of this information like client ID, you take the redirect URL, you take the scope from us, and based on that, please give us me the access token. And that access token should have this scope, like I can read the user and I can read the user email, something like that. So this is what we need to basically initialize. So that's what this guy is going to do. So if I again show you, so this is what this initiate GitHub OAuth will do. Okay, and why I was telling you, right, like this cookie can help us. I'll tell you why this cookie is very important. So what we where is the Excel draw? Yeah. So what this cookie will do, right? So what we can do, right, during this step, we can create a local state. Okay, this will be some encrypted value, and this value we can pass it. We can put it in the cookie. Put this in cookie. Okay, so we can put this value in the cookie, and so that we make sure that okay, so whatever the authorization and authentication is happening during our life cycle, it is coming from the same response, like same cookie response. So that because we are going to set the cookie, we are going to set the response.cookie with this state, with this local state. And when the callback happens, when we will do the callback of the URL, so this can add an extra layer. So when the callback will happen, hey, authentication is done, now this is your token, like at that particular stage, what we will do, right, we will try to get the same cookie, the cookie what we have set, right, like this state what we have set, we will fetch it. And if we have this state, if this exists, which means we are secure. Okay, so basically if you remember, right, there is two API call. One is API auth/GitHub. So during this we will set cookie, and there is auth/GitHub/callback. During this we will fetch the cookie, and if cookie exists with state, which means it is coming from the same response, right, like which it's coming from the same life cycle which we have initiated for the GitHub login, which means we are safe here. Nobody, like if somebody else can get access to your links, then he can go ahead and try to put his more information and try to access some sensitive information like for this user, and he can try to access to your application. So we are just trying to make our application secure by setting this state in the cookie. And once we verify, hey, the state is not empty, the state is there, which means we are safe, and then we can clear the cookie for that life cycle hook, or for the life cycle of that login process, right? So let me know if you guys still have questions, like if you are not getting this, so I can basically explain you like what exactly I mean by that. Okay, maybe during the development, maybe we can see what I really meant by that. Okay, now So let's go back and let's go to our controller here, right? And over here we already have, okay, let's make this async because yeah, we need to use a wait for sure. Now we need to basically, as I told you, right, during the initialization process, we need to initiate, we need to create the state. So we can create const local state, and this has to be some encrypted. So if, let me check if we have some package for encryption. Do I have it? Do I have it? Yes or no? Let me check. Do we have crypto? Then do I? Yes, I do have crypto. Then why is it not showing? This should show, right? Or am I missing something? I see we have crypto. I'm not sure what we are, why I'm missing this. If we have a crypto, then why is it not showing? Let me see where I'm using this crypto. I'm remember, I think we should be, yes, we are generating the verification token, generating the reset token. Then this is a big problem. We need to add this crypto. Let's go ahead and do that. CD backend npm. I'm not sure I added, but I haven't installed. Maybe I haven't added this. So npm install crypto. And now we can basically use this crypto. I don't know how it, okay, because I'm not using this method, so that's why it is not breaking, because I haven't created any verification token at the moment. But let's see. Now I have added the crypto. So let's go and import the crypto. Import crypto from crypto. And let's use this. So now my AI will be aware. Yes, exactly. We can create a random byte of 16. Yes, 16 characters basically. We can create the local state. And now we need to prepare the GitHub OAuth URL. And this is the URL what I was talking about actually. So this is what we I wanted to prepare this. Okay, I'm just pressing tab and getting some info from. Okay, I don't want to go it. Okay, let me do one thing. So I think AI has suggested something to me. Let me go ahead and use it, and I'll try to modify it based on what I need. So let me press tab and get all of this information, and we will review this, like if this code is generated by AI is correct or not. Okay, let's go back. So first, let's see this initiating of your GitHub auth. Like the initiation should happen right correctly. So now we have a local state, as I told you, and we are going to set our cookie with this local state. So we can say response dot cookie. Come on, AI, help me, because I don't want to write any wrong spelling. So we can just say here GitHub auth state, and then we can pass this, which is correct. Yes. So we have basically setting up our cookies. This is the key of the cookie, and this is the value of the cookie, and then we are passing some options. So if I, okay, they don't provide this hovering, which is bad because I'm not using TypeScript, that's why. But yeah, this is what it is. So now here we can pass some options, which I was not aware, but yeah, thank God AI has suggested this already. So we can say HTTP only true. We also have here secure as true, like based on production. So this will secure will be true and false based on that. We can give max age, like maybe we can give some limited numbers. This is 10 minutes, I think so, as per AI, if I'm not wrong. And then we can make sure, this is very important, we can put here as same site. This is important when you are making sure that your whenever the cookie basically is coming, it will basically checks if it is coming from the same site or not. So which you can enable it just by adding the same site as strict or lax, like it depends on you, like what you need to put. So but this is some extra layer of security what you can add basically in your application. And this looks a bit bad to me, so let me put it down like this so that things are clear to you. Yeah, now if I just put some comment, so this will basically give you some information. So when you say HTTP only true, this prevents the client-side JS from reading the cookie. So which is what we need, because we are not using cookies in the front end. So I think we can safely do this as true. Okay. This is for basically securing, so you can secure the cookies in production. So that's where it is true. This is your max age, like for 10 minutes. And then if I just put here as a comment, so you can basically give the like same site for, okay, why we add this. So now you got the information, right? So this is for CSRF protection for your website, that this is coming from the same site, not from the different site, something like that, right? Now, okay, so let me do one thing. My phone is low on battery. Let me just go ahead and connect. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, now I'm back. So we just tried to set the cookie with the local state, which was very important. And now we are going to prepare the GitHub OAuth URL. So we can just say here, because this URL I'm not liking, because I need to put some more information here. So we can say const GitHub OAuth URL. I can get rid of this, right? And yep, something like this I needed, and I can remove this. Okay, and here we can just go ahead and tell that, hey, once you have the GitHub OAuth URL, just make sure to redirect the user. So we are sending response.redirect. Okay, now what basically we can do now, here we need to pass few information. The things are, I think, already visible here. So we need to have a client ID, we need to have a state, then what else we require? I'm just thinking. Yeah, we need to also have the redirect URI, exactly, which is coming from here. And then we can basically also define the scope. I don't know why it is coming like this. Okay, then we can basically define the scope. So scope can be handled like this, I guess. We can also just say a scope user email. Okay, and you can also like put some more, like, okay, user email, and you can put read user. So yeah, these two scope you can define, and you already have passed the state. So I think this, for information, what we need to pass, we need to pass client ID, which is there, the redirect URI, yes, this is also there. This we need to change. Remember, right? So whatever you have added in your .env, you should basically match to that. So we have GitHub redirect URI. Let's copy that and put it here. So process.env.github URI and GitHub client ID. Yeah, this is correct. And I think so. Yeah, we are pretty much done. And based on that, we are trying to prepare the GitHub OAuth URL. Okay. So if the URL is ready, we just tell front end, hey, take this OAuth URL, and it will go ahead and do the fetching. Okay, so based on this information, so your GitHub is going to initiate, like, this will basically, after checking if all this information is there, if it is correct, based on that, it is going to redirect you to the callback URL what you have created. Okay, and this is what basically GitHub does. So during the initiation of this, okay, here, after everything is good, if all good, if all good, you will approve the login in GitHub. Okay, approve the login in GitHub. So once you approve, if everything is okay, then that guy is going to send you to this URL, which is auth/github/callback. And this is important now. I'll tell you why. So once you come to this, we need to have an endpoint which is created already in the backend. So if I again open up my VS Code, and if I go here, so here this, we already have a callback URL which is handling this GitHub callback. Okay, and in this, exactly what was expected. Now here we have a code which is coming. This is the exchange code for access token. So this is what GitHub will go ahead and check. Okay, if everything is good here, your client ID is correct, your GitHub redirect is correct, the scope is correct. So based on that, this guy is going to create a code. I'll show you once this will happen in the front end. I'm just trying to review the AI code. If I didn't like anything, I'm going to remove it for sure. Okay. All right. Now, so now what this guy will basically do, so you can go ahead and check. So here we have a state, correct? And I'm just thinking we can also check this state is different than what we have created here. So our key was this. So what we can do, right? Right. Okay, what we can do, we can check here const saved state. And this is what I was talking about. Yeah, so the save state, correct? And now we can basically check. So we can basically add a check here if there is, okay. Oh, this is not correct. So this state might be different than what we have said because that was our local state, right? Or maybe, yeah, we can basically go and check if, oh yes, because the save state will be similar what we have added here. Yeah, I'm so sorry. So the state is what we have set up here. So we can check, right, if this both the states are correct. So first we can check if like there is no state and if my state is not equal to the save state, which means someone is trying to do something wrong in my application, correct? And we can basically send a response to the user, hey, this is wrong. We can send this 403, this is invalid state parameter, which means the state what we have created, it is not matching and you're trying to hack my application. Okay. Arjun Singh is saying your clock timing is different, brother. Yes, because currently I'm in Dubai, so that's why you can see this time is 11:47. It is live, so it is live. Okay, so currently I'm in Dubai, so that's maybe if you are watching it from India, then you guys must be ahead than me, like 1 hour 30 minutes. Right. Okay. So let me know, guys, if you guys have any question related to this topic, what I'm teaching, or if you need more context about what I'm doing right now. Because you need to go and watch it from the start, like what I'm doing actually now. So this is what we are trying to do. We are trying to send the response like 403 that hey, the state parameter was invalid. Okay. Maybe if you want to handle it in the front end, then maybe you can just redirect the user to the front end URL and whatever you want to do, you can do that with that. But I think so I can rely on this. This is okay. And once this is done, which means, hey, once this is done, this everything got matched. So what we can do, we can just clear it now because now we don't require that state anymore. So we can response.clear cookie and we can just say, hey, thank you for your help and now goodbye. Right? And now we can add one more check, what AI was suggesting me, like if there is no code. Okay, if the code is also empty, right, which is not coming from the, if GitHub haven't provided the code, which means again the authorization code was not provided and again you are not an authentic user to log into my application. So I'm just trying to put as much security I can, right? And yeah, this is pretty much good. And now we check the state, we check the code. Okay, now we can safely go to the next step, which he says that, okay, exchange the code for access token. Exactly. Now what I need to do? So I need to go ahead. Why AI is suggesting me Axios, I don't know. This is wrong because I don't have this package. So maybe I can rely more on fetch rather than this. So let me do one thing. This code is good, to be honest. Like I'm not going to change this. But I need to change like how fetch basically works is you just need to change this to fetch. Fetch is coming from your node itself. It's part of the JavaScript. So you can use fetch to do the API calls and you just need to mention here method and the method is post, correct? And you can pass the header, like what kind of header it is. And exactly that's what you need. So now you need to pass a body and body has to be in a string. So you can say json.stringify and I think so I did correct. Yes. So this is my state. This is the thing which got ended and I can get rid of this. Come on. I'm just pressing tab just to get I'm doing correct or not. Let's see. This is incorrect. Yes. I think that's all. Now let me just go ahead and explain you what magic I did here. Basically, so here I'm trying to exchange the token, like exchange code for token, which means I need to do a HTTP post call. By using fetch, I'm doing it. I am not relying on actually some external package for that. I can rely on this. So this is the URL. I think so. This is correct. Yeah, that's correct. So I need access token. This is the post request. This is good to have here. Accept JSON. That's correct. And then we have pass the body by stringify, like creating it a string. We have a client ID. We have a client secret. We have a code. We have a redirect URI, and we can also pass state. Like I don't think so state is required here anymore because the job of state was done already here, right? The job of state is done, so we don't require to pass this state anymore to get the token response. Now, let's see. So basically now this is what we will have. So now with the token response, I'm just trying to convert it into the access token, and this is what the access token it will be. So I think this is the correct way to do. Like I'm doing the destructuring directly here, or else if I don't do this, so I need to do something like this, what you see here. So this will be like token response and all of those. So maybe I can get rid of this, and I can directly get the access token. So your access token will be here already, right? So I can get rid of this, and now here I can check if there is no access token. I can say, hey, failed to obtain access token from GitHub. Pretty much nice. I'm doing a great job, I feel, just by using AI. I don't know. Okay, let me know guys if you have any questions. Again, I'm just trying to check the comment section as well. If there is no new comment, then I can still continue. Yep. So again, this again, just to again give you context, this is AI generated code. I'm just trying to refactor it like the way I want it, like this, just to improve it more better if I can. Okay, maybe AI also learns like how you're trying to code, and based on that it basically improves your code, right? And now what we need to do, we need to fetch the user response based on this access token what we just got from the GitHub. Now we are telling GitHub that, hey, I'm using the GitHub API. This is the GitHub API, which if you, okay, I don't want to do get, I want to use fetch. I don't have Axios package. So I will use here fetch, and then I need to pass it as an header, which I think so it is already doing. But I think so we have this extra layer, yes, and in the header we have authorization, we pass the access token, and you can like put here as, I don't know, this is a accept, something like this I want to add. Yeah, okay, and you can put it here like this. Yes, thanks AI. Okay, so now this will help us to fetch the user response. Okay, so once you have the user response, okay, this guy gives me ID, this guy gives me name, and this guy gives me avatar. So this is what I think I also need, right? From the user response dot data you might need to do. Okay, so this is my user response, and what I can basically do, right? You need to first convert this. So you have a user response. I can say const GitHub user, and you can await like this. Correct? Yes. Fail to fetch. Okay, this is also good. And this is what we can restructure. And this is what I'm lacking, because I want it to be very safe. Like, what if you don't fetch the GitHub user? Then you don't allow to go to the next step, right? So that's what I did. I added some safe check here that if it doesn't have a GitHub user and it doesn't have an ID, then hey, tell that you have failed to get the user. Okay. Now what else I can do here? So now here you have ID, email, name, and avatar. I'm just trying to find out, like, okay, how do we get the how do we get the username? Okay, I need to get, because I also need username, right? GitHub API user fetch username. I'm just putting some random text on Google just to see. API user slash name. Get GitHub username through primary email. Endpoint for user. Fetch user data using API. Let's see. Display avatar and all of those. Okay, you got the response.data. Okay. I don't think so anyone is using it here. Let's see the official doc. Okay, yeah, this is what I was talking about. Okay, octet. Seems like this is the username, I guess. This is the email, this is the bio. Oh, I get a lot of things from here, which is good. Okay, which means login is the username. I'm just assuming. Octocat. Can we check that? GitHub CLI, that's fine. JavaScript, so you can just go and fetch. There is Octocat, by which also you can fetch this. Okay. That's API versioning. But this is what the response I'm expecting. Okay, this is the login. Not bad. What was the API URL? Curl accept this API slash user. This is the one. Do I really pass? Okay, user slash y shashi. I don't know what was the API URL to fetch the user. Let me see something more. How do I fetch? This is JavaScript, this is the GitHub CLI, we just pass it here, application, CLI, GitHub, the GH API, that's fine, and this is the curl request. What am I missing? Is it like this? No, this is not the one. Let's see, they must have somewhere here written. Yep, APIs as slurge. Okay, this is their GitHub API. I just want to see like what exactly, how you can get the username. Okay, query is this. Let me copy this, fetch and put it here as my exactly. And yeah, this is what I'm talking about. So this login is what you see, right, is my username. So this is what I need. So let's go back to the Visual Studio Code and what I wanted here. Yeah, so I can just put here as login, and this login is going to be my username. Okay. Now, okay, so now, which means now just to understand this a bit more, now what we are doing on this step, we are fetching the user. Okay, once we fetch the user, so we have this GitHub user, right? So here, because this returns a promise, so that's what we are doing here, because fetch returns a promise. That's why we need to do it like this, user response.json to get the user here. And now with the user, we are trying to restructure and get this ID, email, name, avatar, and login. I think till here, I think we are correct. Now we need to have this step to find or create user in database. Again, this is AI generated. I'm trying to again just refactor it. So to get that right, this is the correct query, and we are passing GitHub ID. This is wrong. I tell you why this is wrong, because we already have something called as email. So what we can pass, we have an email, and we can pass your email. So because now we are checking if this user is already part of our database or not. Okay, and just to make it small, you can remove this, because this means this only. So it will go and check where email is this, and based on that it will fetch the user, right? It will fetch the user if there is no user. Okay, if there is no user, then it is going to create the user for me, if I am not wrong, right? So it will go ahead and create a user for me,
And to create a user, what you need email, you need a name, right? And you need a name. Name is coming from here. But what if the name doesn't exist? That's my question. If the name doesn't exist, so what we can do, right? So let's do it like this. So we can use a name or we can use a login. Login is nothing but your username, okay, coming from the GitHub user. So that is correct. What else we need? So for username, we can use login, right? For email verified should be true because you're trying to log in from GitHub, which means your email is already verified. So we can safely say that, yeah, in our database, the email is verified. Okay. And then you have an avatar. Okay. If you guys are confused what I'm doing here, let me show you my database. So this is my database, right? So in the database, I'm just trying to find out that, hey, I have avatar, I have email verified, I have this last login, theme ID, and all of this, right? So this is what I'm just trying to do. Like I'm just trying to create a user in my database from GitHub login. Okay. So now I have email, name, username is verified true, avatar, and then I don't think so I have a GitHub ID. And if you remember also we have a bio from GitHub user. So we can add a bio, and here we can use bio. Okay. And if there is no bio, then it will be, if it is undefined, then it will store that as an undefined. So that's not a problem, but just in case if you want it, you can like create as an empty string or null based on how you have set up the schema. The schema is here. So bio is, yeah, this could be like null or undefined. So can you see that? Here we have it, like this is not a required field. Okay. Okay, let's go and check in the database. If I don't have a bio, what it basically does. So it will have a null. If I am not wrong, where is bio? Yeah, the bio goes as a null value. Okay, so it depends what you need to store. Right, if you don't add any value, it will store as a null. So let's go with null then. Maybe we can remove that. We can remove this and we can just store this as it is. It will anyway take that as a null. Okay. And yeah, this is pretty much it. And let me take a look how we are registering a user or creating a user, because I need to make sure that I'm following the same process. So if I go here and yeah, we check for existing user, we create a user and we select what we need to get it from there. Good. And then this is what we do while creating the user. And for the login also, let me see what we do. We just go and check, validate, we add this information, we generate the token, we also store the theme. Interesting. Okay, I got it. So we are also storing the theme, right? Because theme is associated with the user. Okay, then okay, let me do one thing. I got it some info here, thank God. So which means whenever I am trying to create the user, so once the user is getting created, we can also tell him to basically include the theme for it. So there is something called as include, and we can say include theme as true. Okay, so that it will also be taking the theme for that particular user, right? Now, okay, this looks good to me. So same thing we can do here. If we are fetching the user, we can fetch the user theme, if I'm not wrong. Okay, let's see, we can proceed it without that and we will take a look what has to be done. So now the user has been created. Now we need to go ahead and update. Basically we are going to update the last login for this user, because that's what we have. So before generating the token, let's go and yeah, prisma.update, and we can update for this user ID. We are going to update the last login date, okay, which we are basically storing it in the database, which was missed by the AI. Now here the things are very simple. Here you already have a user created. If you have a user created, then you can basically go ahead and generate the token for it. And once the token got generated, I think this is the easiest step for us. that you can just send that particular token to the user, and you can basically send it back to the front end, right? You can redirect the user to the success page. So this is not correct. We cannot just send the response. We need to redirect the user, yes, with the token. So we can say response dot redirect. Okay, something like this, but we don't have it, right? So we have the callback basically that will have the token. So we can say here front end URL auth slash GitHub slash callback, which means what will happen now? Imagine, uh, let me show you. Here is a diagram. Now, okay, this is done in the backend. This is done in the backend. Now, once the fetching and creating of the user is done, we need to send the user to some page, right? To some page in the front end, so that front end can handle the state. So once this is done, right, now front end will handle a state. So what will happen in the front end? We have this HTTP localhost 4200. What we can do, we can send the user to auth slash GitHub slash callback. We can send the user to this route. Okay, and we can basically also send the token what we just have generated, so that we can store the token. So because you remember, right, when we are once the login is success, we store the JWT token in the session storage. So this is what we are going to do here at this step. So we will pass the JWT token here. Okay, we will pass the JWT token here. And what frontend will do, frontend will go to this page, and they will make use of activated route, and based on activated route, it will get this token and set this token in the local storage. And once this is done, then from this page we can send the user. If this is done, if this part is done, then we can redirect the user to HTTP localhost host 4200 slash the username, like basically the profile page. We can send the user to this profile page. Okay, I hope you are getting this, what I'm just trying to explain. Like, okay, so these two steps in the backend is done. Then this is the third step, an important step in the front end. That's how front end will handle. Everything is not done in the backend, right? Front end also has to handle something. And this is the front end part, what it needs to handle. Okay. And that's pretty much it, I guess. I don't know, how do I make it straight? Yeah, something like this. I don't know, I'm just enjoying. All right, let me see if there is any comment. Okay, there is no such, so I can still continue. Nice. Let's go back to the VS Code and let me analyze the code. So now I don't have this front-end URL, so I need to go and add. Let me remove it so that I can add it safely, so that I don't want to show you guys my secrets. So here, front-end URL, copy this, and I can paste it here in localhost 4200. Auth controller, yeah, and I have added it successfully. Let me take this back. Okay, so this is already added now, and now this will take my front-end URL auth slash GitHub slash callback, and this will take my token, which just now I created. So let me change it to JWT token just to make it different. Okay, so now this is going to be my JWT token, and this is what I am sending the front end to. Like, hey, once everything is done, send the user to this particular JWT URL. And now I can say that I'm pretty much done, except one small thing. If you remember that I'm making use of cookie, right? So I'm making use of cookie. So if you're using cookie, then please remember that you need to make use of cookie parser, so that basically you can make use of what do I say, this cookies and everything, or else it will not work. I'll tell you why. This cookie will not get set in the request, and all of those will happen. So for that, let me go and install npm install cookie parser. and it's very simple to set up. I'll tell you how you can do that. So let's go to your index.js. You need to import no ways cookie parser. I was assuming that this should help me, but okay, because we need to add from. So parser from cookie parser, right? And I think this we have already added. So this is cookie parser, and we just need to say app.use. Okay, but let me tell you guys, this app.use is also very important. Like, where are we placing this? So I'll take this and I'll try to find a way, like the correct place where basically I should use it. Let me do it just below this express.json, and then I'm pretty much done. So currently we are done from the backend part. Now the ball goes towards the front end code. Like, now the front end need to handle, because the initialization of the GitHub will happen there. Okay. Now let me go ahead and open up the front end basically. So let me explain you what I really mean by running my application. Backend is already running, which is good. Let me run the front end. So npm run. Okay, this is ngdev because this is Angular. Let's get start. I'll show you what magic I have to do now. So localhost is running, and I can open up my Chrome. So localhost 4200. Yes. This. So what happens now? Whenever user clicks on this sign in button, so we need to send the user to a URL, to the get URL, right? And what is the get URL? It will be, I will show you that. Now, okay. Now let's try to divide this live into two parts. So for example, you are just a front-end developer, okay? And imagine the backend task is done. Backend has developed the API already. The API is ready, and now you as a front-end developer has to handle the front-end part to get this GitHub auth login, right? Just to make it work. So what you will do now, as a front-end developer, you will just try to fetch where is this sign in with GitHub is. Okay, so let me check where is this sign in with GitHub is. Okay, it's somewhere over here, and this is the button, if I am not wrong. And if I go in the login component, I think I remember I have a method called as this login with GitHub. And what I will do, right, I'll remove this and I will say window.location, and yeah, this is somewhat correct, like not 100%, but yeah, 50% is correct, because what you need here, right, you just need to pass the backend URL which you will going to fetch. So my backend is running on port number this, so I'll grab this. Okay, and I can put it like this here. Yeah, so /API /auth/GitHub. So basically what this will do, this will change the location on the top of your route, and this always does a get call. Okay, what do I mean by that? So whenever I'm trying to enter, right, enter this, so this is a get call, right? This is a get call which fetch some data. And if you remember, right, this auth.js, this is a get. Sorry, this is the get. So this is where we want to fetch. So we want to call this controller, which helps to initiate GitHub OAuth. And okay, what we can do, we can try to add some debugging. Let me show you some debugging as well. So let's remove this and let me run this into debug mode. Node.js. I want to run this dev, and let's run the debugger. Okay, and I can put my debug point here. Hope this enables the debugging. Yes, debugging is enabled. Let's wait for this to run. Yeah, it's running also. Now what I have just did, I'll show you again. So in the login component, I am just changing the route location to this, and this will do the get call. Save this and open up your browser. Where is Linkhub? Yeah, this is not the one. This is the one on the local host. If I click on this, imagine, see on the top what it will happen. Can you see? So once I click on this, so this is basically doing the get call here. And I'm going to start one by one. So first of all, we are trying to create a local state. So there is some, see, the crypto is helping me to create some encrypted value here. right? Random byte of 16, and it's an hex. And we are setting the cookie. Okay, we are basically setting the cookie here, and once the cookie is set, we are basically going to generate the GitHub OAuth URL. And this is how the GitHub OAuth URL basically looks. We have a scope and everything. And we click on this. So here, basically the URL will change. Can you see now? Here I got some route, but it says that, hey, URL not found. Okay, I remember what is happening now. Okay, let me again try to do it, because what happened, right? Like, it was so fast that it have also executed this step. And here in the front end, this guy is trying to go to this URL. Okay, this guy is trying to go to this URL, but this URL doesn't exist. This URL doesn't exist in the front end, and that's why it gives me 40 like not found page with this particular token, which is not right. Now let me come back and show it to you again. So now I have put two debug points. One for initiating the GitHub OAuth, and another one is for handling the GitHub. Okay, right. So now what we do on this step is, okay, let me go back and show it to you with the debugging. If I click on sign in, first it came here, and if I press this, so second it came here. Remember, now we have this request.query, and in the query we have two things. We have a code and then we have a state. This code is coming from the GitHub, and the state is what we have created on the top, and now it is coming as a query to us in the request. Now we first go and check. So this is our saved state, and we need to basically check if they both are not matching, but for us they both are matching, so that's why it will not go in this, and it will continue. And once the state job is done, we are clearing it, and we have a code, so that's fine. Now we are doing the API call to get the token response, and here we got the token from the GitHub. So now we are going to use this GitHub access token to get the user. So this is where we are fetching the user by passing this token as a bearer. And if I go one step ahead, and if I show you this, so here I can see my GitHub user. Can you see? I get all of these, like my collaborator, my blog website, my bio, my avatar, my email ID, my event URL, and everything, my followers, who am I following, and all of those, right? So this is what I wanted. So now I have a GitHub user. So this will also not break, and it will come here, and I'm trying to do the restructuring here. So now I have access to this ID, email, avatar, login, and everything. Now I need to go and fetch if this email ID exists. So for my case, yes, this exists. So can you see now this email ID is there in my database? So I fetch it. So this if condition will not get executed. If the user is not existing, then what it will do? It will go ahead and create the user for me. Okay, but for us, it's not the case. So it will go ahead and just go and update the last login time. So the update is done. Now we generate a token. Token got generated, and we take this JWT token, and we are going to redirect the front end to this URL, localhost 4200 /auth/github/callback, and we'll pass the JWT token. And this is where it is failing in the front end, because we don't have such route, and as per Angular, this will break. So we need to create a component now. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's create a component very fast. Where do I create that? I think it should be in the pages, in the auth, and we create GitHub callback. I always do such mistakes, so please bear me. Right, so we have this GitHub callback, and let's create the component. So GitHub callback component.ts, export class GitHub callback component. Wow, I'm just doing tab, and let's see if okay. I don't know if this code is correct or not. I have no idea if this code is correct. Let's see what it basically gives me. Okay, see, this is so bad. It still uses NJF, and that's it. Okay, let it come. I'll tell you how I will what information I will use and what I will remove. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much it, I guess. So what I can do, right? I can grab this Control X and I can put it here on the top because I'm using single file component, so that's why. Don't need these two, right? And let me import whatever I can, import all the missing imports. I really don't know, man, if this code will work or not. I'm just using AI, and AI is helping me to give all of this information. I don't know. Let's see. So let me get rid of this and let me make use of @if. Okay. Let's see, and let me put it like this here. Again, this could be removed with an error. So let me grab this, Control X, @if. If you have error, then you use this. Same, this also can be removed. So I can grab this, @if, and I can put it here, and I can grab these two condition and put it here. And we can get rid of this ngIf. Nice and easy. What else? It's breaking. Okay, this is not my problem, so I can just, because this thing doesn't even exist, so that's why it is breaking. But that's fine. We can fix that. That's not a problem. And what it is suggesting me, I don't know, but yeah, I think so. I have removed a lot of ngIf already. So let's see, star ng. Yeah, nothing is there anymore. I don't know, man. AI is future. That's what I see here now. But yeah, so I have a component ready. So this component, I'm going to use it as my auth routes. So here I went in my auth route. Just below this, I can provide a path, and I can load the component, and I can go here and make this as default. Okay, and that should fix the error here. Yes. So GitHub /callback. This is what we had created there. So that's why. Save the changes, and now we need to fix this. Like, fixing this will require some small information, right? If you remember, we are getting this token from the activated route, right? From the query param. So if you go inside this, you have this query param token. And if you have a token, right, so you will handle the success response. So this is what we can do. Can basically add here private method handle success, because if you have a token, so things went quite good. So we can pass a token here. Okay, we need to create, yeah, this is what I wanted to create. So handle success, and if something goes wrong, we can basically go and handle the error. So handle error. Should I keep it one-liner, or should I set the error? I think so I should set the error. I think I have it here. Yeah, we have a signal as error, so we can set the error directly. No need to have an extra method. GitHub login failed, no token received, loading set to false. Now we have a storage service, I remember. Private read only storage service. Yes, please. Storage service and storage service dot, there is something related to token. So let's see if it have this. Okay, get OAuth token, set auth token. Yeah, this is what I wanted to do. So now we are using storage token to basically set this auth token, and now by using auth service we can get the current user. So we can subscribe to the current user, something like this. You can set the loading to false, which is correct, and we can navigate the user. Okay, user is what? Let me hover on this. User.username. Okay, response.user. So we have a response. So this is incorrect. So let me add it as a response, and we can say here response.user.username. Yep, something like this. If there is a return URL, if just checking if it contains auth, which means yeah, I want to navigate back to the return URL, which is good. Or else, if this is a success case, then we can navigate user to there. Looks like this is what we need. I think so. This is what we need, and we can get rid of this what we don't use. I think so. This should work. This should work. Front end is working fine. Let me go back. Okay, let me remove this, and now see the magic. What will happen? I click on sign in. Yeah, it came here. So it does all the token, fetching the token, getting the user response. Okay, got the email. Yes, we have a user already, generates the token, and this is where the magic will happen. I'm sending the backend to say redirect to this front end URL, and once I do that, yes, and I'm successfully able to log into this website now. You saw? The login was success, and I'm able to come to this page. And this is what I wanted. So this is what it is. So I think so it is working. Just to verify this, let me open up this into incognito mode so that I can show it to you that, hey, how exactly this, and let me also get rid of this breakpoints now, because I'm confident that my code is working. Yes, we can go to localhost, we can click on login. Now, if I click on this sign in with GitHub, can you see now? This guy is asking me to put your GitHub email ID. Let me do that. I hope this is correct. Click on sign in. Yes, I will use my passkey. Okay, sign in happens. You just take a look at the route. So GitHub, it goes to this URL, it comes to the callback URL, and this guy is logging me with my user credentials, which is this. So now it guy basically has, so can you see my display name is this, my bio is this, and it has basically fetched the user which is already there in the database. So what I will do, right, before I end the stream, let me show it to you by changing the username so that it will create a new user. What I can do, right, let me fetch the user first, because my database I think is disconnected, so this will go and connect. I need to wait for some time. I have a question from Vishnu Gupta. Sir, I have not cleared my interview. Add the Dipalis. I don't know why you tagged Dipali there, but okay. Maybe you can check with me on, just DM me on LinkedIn. Let's have a chat, like what really went wrong for you, so you can, maybe we can communicate how we can improve it. Okay, just DM me on LinkedIn. Should be fine. So now what I'm trying to do, right, I'm trying to basically manipulate. So I will manipulate this email ID so that once the GitHub will, because my GitHub ID is YShashi30, so I'm just trying to change it so that once I'm doing the GitHub login, so this guy is going to create a new user. Okay, I don't want to delete this because I have a lot of links already set up and this is already live, and I also have views. So I don't want to break my views here, which I already have 30 visits. So I don't want to like lose my data. That's why I'm changing this. Let me save. Okay, and now if I fetch the same record, you will see that this will show you 301. Okay, right, let's do this again. Now let me close the incognito and again create a new incognito window and put it here. Let's go back to localhost. I'm so happy. See, this is what happens with AI. Like if the AI was not there, like the autocomplete was helping me to do a lot of coding there, but I was there just to refactor the code, okay, what AI has generated to my liking. And maybe this is the reason, because of that I didn't got any such error. And that's why I see, if you use AI, so AI can really improve your code quality and it can also save a lot of time for you. If you remember, right, I created that callback page in just 20-30 seconds, I guess. So yeah, that's why I say use AI, but you should know how to use AI, right? Okay, I click on login. I click on sign in with GitHub. Again, the GitHub page will open. I choose my email ID and password. Click on sign in. I use this passkey. Now just see the magic. GitHub is verifying me. Yes, it will take me to the callback page. Okay, there is some error I saw. Okay, it says internal server error, which means my backend just got like broke, I guess. We can check that here. Okay, we can check it here. Okay, it is breaking here. So argument says that password is missing. Okay, so when I check my log, the password was missing, but I really got the data from here. Okay, so what we can do? I got it why. Because when we are doing GitHub login, so if you remember for us, we have set up something here that password is required. If you go in the schema, this password is required. Okay, without password you cannot create a user because that guy was trying to create the user, but I didn't pass the password. That's why it broke. So what we can do, we can temporarily add once you are doing GitHub login. So in this callback code, yeah, where we are creating user. So this is where we create a user, and okay. So what we will do here, we will add a password, and yeah, this is what we will do. We will generate some random password, and this password will not be used because we are doing GitHub login. That's why. So if you do GitHub login, then you don't need to basically uh, use password, right? You just click on GitHub and GitHub does the magic for you. Okay, let me restart the application, run my backend again so that this will take this change of password. Very interesting. Let's go back and let me go back to localhost 4200. Get started. Okay, I need to sign in with GitHub. Let's wait. Again it broke. Don't know why. Yes, so this guy also need a username. So what went wrong? I am already passing a username. Oh, unique constraint failed on the field. Why? Okay, come on. I need to also change the username here because this Y Shashi already exists for GitHub. So let me go and change this to 101 just to make it so that now, because my GitHub also is Y Shashi, that's why it is breaking that. Hey, you are failing the constraint there. Right now, I think this should work. Let's go back. Again, localhost. Click on login. Okay, sign in with GitHub. Yes, and there you go. So this guy has created a user for me, but I think this value is still taking from the cache, if I'm not wrong, because I'm using the same browser. That's why it is taking from the cache. But yeah, I'm completely sure that this guy is taking the value from there. So what we can do here, right? We can remove the cache, like it's there in my local storage. So we can remove this. Let's clear this everything, and if I refresh, I will be logged out again, right? Now, but okay, let's try to sign in again. Yes, so it gives me one visit, it gives me this profile, and now I have all of this information. But trust me, I was not expecting this because this should create a new user. Maybe I'm missing something while doing the test. Yes, so this guy has given me all of this, but there is something going wrong which I'm not able to fetch it correctly. Let's see why. So if I go and check for this Y Shashi, there is some caching being done. That's why. Let me go ahead on my backend. 8500 API docs. I remember I have created one API endpoint to basically invalidate the cache. So I'm just checking that. Is it in the auth? Clear all cache. Yes, this is what. Yeah, so we have API slash. So this is what we need to add here. No request has been sent, so I can use postman to clear all my cache. Let's do that. I'll just try to be very quick because we have already passed the time. HTTP localhost 8500/API/cache/clear, and we need to pass an empty body, right? Select the request. Hope it works. Okay, I think so. It got stuck somewhere. Let's see. Let me try to cancel. Okay, something is not going correct. Still sending the request, but I want to cancel. Come on. It just don't work. Don't save. Okay, clear the cache. It's a post request. I'm not wrong. What if I do a get? Okay, let's do a get request. I don't see because we are passing any request anywhere, so that should be okay. API/cache/clear, and we can just say the get, right? Request is sending. I don't know what is going wrong. I don't know. Let's see. I think I'm stuck at the moment. I'm not sure what's going wrong here. I wanted to clear the cache, but why this is not getting. So we have a cache.delete. Yes, we are deleting all the cache pattern, and then this is what it is. It's quite simple. Let me run the backend again. Interesting. Okay, it's running. I don't know what's going wrong here. Let's save. Okay, let's again try to clear the cache. It's a get request. My actually question is, why is it not coming to my debug point? Because this is what the request is, /API/cache/clear, and it should easily catch. Come on. It should catch. Okay, and it just gets stuck. I hope I'm running it on the correct path. I just don't know what's going wrong. And this even don't gets cancelled, which is another stupid thing. But let's see. Let's not focus there. What I can do at the moment, I can clear the cache from my VPS because this gets stored into my VPS. So I'm just thinking, is it okay? Let's see my Redis CLI. Yeah, I need to go inside this terminal. Let me do that. Redis CLI clear. I'm just trying to clear it. Let me get it from here. Clear Redis cache, Redis CLI command. I'm damn sure it is coming from the Redis. Redis CLI, okay. I need to check the database. Okay, Redis CLI, I have an creating instruction. Okay, that's fine. This is all coming in here because I'm in Dubai, that's why it is all like that. So please don't mind. Okay. Let me open up this Redis CLI. Yes, I'm in the port 6399. Now I need to flush everything. Okay, flush all. Basically, I'm trying to do it here. Okay, in my Docker DB. Yeah, flush all is done. Let's go back, and if I refresh, exactly this is what I was talking about. So it was the problem inside my Redis, because Redis was caching the data for me, and that's why the data was not getting updated. So if you remember, right, if you see my GitHub profile, so this is the profile avatar what I use, and this bio is also coming from my GitHub. And if I go in the profile, this name is also coming from the GitHub, and this is because I don't have any social link, that's why it is not showing anything now. But this is what I was talking about. So if you are using GitHub to log into this portal, so you will have a lot of things already set up for you. Ah, nice. Again, let me show GitHub login. And this time this will take from cache. So it is coming from the cache now. Just one visit, which I just now did. And yeah, this was pretty much it what we have did today. So we have successfully able to do the GitHub login, and we are able to log into the system by using GitHub. And this GitHub is like quite handy now for us to basically create or any user in the database as well, and also to fill up a lot of details like my name, email address, and the bio. And I feel this is the great thing to have as the application, because I'm going to release this application in this upcoming weekend, where all of you can also go and register, and you can register and you can start using this Linkhub in your GitHub profile. So this is the plan. Right, so let me know, guys, if you guys have any more further questions. If not, because I'm about to end the stream. I see there are still 2-3 people here, which is good. Now I can successfully go and put this on, like launch this website now. Okay, so thank you so much, guys, whoever joined till now. I think it's already very late in India and also in Dubai as well, if someone is watching from Dubai. So thank you so much. But if you still have doubt watching this video, because this will be uploaded as well as a normal video, and if you still got any question, put them in the comment, or else you can directly DM me, and you can connect with me on LinkedIn, Telegram, or Instagram, wherever you want. I will be happy to help. And with that said, bye bye, guys. And